Hey everybody, and welcome to a very special postseason show with Winston. We have so much to get to on this show, but you know the deal. I have to let you know first that all of our shows with the previous house guests and all of our content is over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bb20. If you missed the Haley, Fessy, Katelyn, Scotty, all the others, JC, I can't even remember, they're all over there right now. This Winston show will be there later, and of course the future shows will be there as well. And you can see all of our content from the season. If you missed flashback times, they're over there. Recap shows, blogs, they're all over there. But you guys are watching right now in YouNow, so make sure you become a fan. It's completely free to be a fan here. You're alerted every time we go live. You can chat in the chat room, ask your questions, and we are live every night of the week talking reality TV and more so. We're not going anywhere just because Big Brother is over. If you guys want to help support our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways, weekly shows for patrons, and the after shows with the house guests like the one we're doing with Winston after this show. And number one fans in YouNow on this show, Winston is would like to do an autograph or a Skype call, whatever the number one fan would like. The option is yours. That being said, let's get to the man you all want to hear from. It's Winston!
What's up, everybody? What's going on?
Winston, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
I am so happy that you're here. Well, we are going to be taking all questions from your fans. People want to know, you have an interesting perspective because you kind of got to be in the house, play the game, and also be out of the house, watch.
Keyword kind of. Kind
of, Winston. So I'm going to let everybody know. Go ahead right now and share the show. Square, megaphone, up arrow, spread it out. Let everybody know that we are live. Of course, you can tweet me your questions with hashtag YRRLive as well. Now, Winston, I don't know if you have been on Twitter today or not, but I have been mildly getting grilled that I am not hard enough on you people that come on this show, and that people don't understand that this show is for fans to ask their questions, and they might not like that I don't follow up with my opinion or am too hard. I'm just here to try and get the fan questions to you as quickly as possible. That being said, maybe I'm not hard enough on all of you. So Winston.
Oh, so I'm gonna. All right, that's fine. I can take whatever heat. Bring it.
Okay. Well, here is a question now. Have you made out with any guns lately? Boom!
Oh my gosh!
Didn't see that coming, did you, everybody?
I have not stopped hearing the end of that little bit. When I got home and watched the first episode, of course, I was just like, "Wow, I really did that." It's a thing called a TV show, guys. So cut me a little bit of slack, just a little bit of a slack. I'm not that crazy guy. Come on.
Here is why you won me over, Winston. Aside from that, sure, maybe I'm not big on guns, but here is why you won me over. You love your dog.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, dude, she's the best. I'm a huge dog guy. But again, they made it look almost like that's all I have. They didn't show my family. They didn't show anything else. It's kind of like, oh, who is this redneck from Kentucky? But
yeah, I mean, I think now as a fan of Big Brother, they definitely typecast a little. They want people to be in their character so they can make their storylines. But yeah, I am of firm belief that there is no such thing as a bad person if you own a dog. So you're all good with me.
I agree.
You're all good with me. All right, let's start jumping in with some of your questions. I'm going to take this one from Annie0615, who wants to know, you looked shocked when Julie announced that you were leaving the game. What do you think you should have done differently in order to stay?
Ooh, all right. A true game question. I like this. So there was so much leading up to my eviction that night. That night, obviously, I knew Sam had a power app. I knew that she could save either Brett or I. The problem comes into play when here I am looking out for my alliance when I knew, here's the issue. Tyler and Casey were the only two who knew from Sam. Sam opened up to them, telling them about her app.
Right.
So I knew if I went to Sam and said, Sam, look, I know you have this app. I'm A, destroying trust between Tyler and her. And B, I'm thinking she may not use it because I was just hoping to tug on the heartstrings and be like, maybe Sam will use it when she goes to vote. I don't know how that irons out. But again, I was trying every which way I could to tug at Sam's heartstrings to get her to use it. So I was shocked. Obviously, when I came out, I was super shocked. There was a meme floating around of me looking like a serial killer, which is just hilarious. I love it on Twitter. But I was more shocked at the fact that I kind of thought it would be unanimous. I knew when Brett painted himself as such a huge target, I thought, well, there's no way they'd keep him. But then again, obviously they did, which makes sense because everybody was gunning for Brett that very next week. And the moment I walked out was the whole Rockstar's birthday or daughter's birthday deal, and it just chaos ensued. But I was playing my hardest. Trust me, I was wanting to stay. But again, I was looking out for Tyler. So in a way, Tyler manipulated me right there. I also have heard that he told Sam not to use it, and I don't know if that's like true or not. I never really got to ask him. So.
I'm sure. Oh God, it feels like that was so long ago. Chat room, did Tyler do that? Chat room, let me know. Believe me, they will be all over it.
Yeah. I mean, either way, it's all forgiven. I know sour blood. I love Tyler to death.
I mean, it's game. I definitely. Yes, Tyler. All right. Well, it is chat, so there's a lot of yeses and nos, but it seems like overwhelmingly the yeses are more. I'm gonna believe Mini Sarah says yes, you do. I'm gonna go Mini Sarah. And I have to say, speaking of like your gifts and stuff, I love it. I also have a very expressive face, Winston.
Yeah.
We cannot control our faces.
I can tell, and I love it, and I respect that because you know what? I so what? I wear my emotions on my face, like
we cannot help it. It is who we are. Lost and Confused over on Twitter wants to know, Winston, is there anybody from the Hive that you would have liked to have bring into level 6, and is there anybody from level 6 you would have liked to kick out?
Ooh, good question. Anybody from the Hive I'd like to bring in? Obviously, this is going to come maybe as a shock, but Scotty.
Really?
Yeah, at the beginning, me, Brett, Scotty, and Steve hung out that first week a lot, which of course, you know, that I've tweeted this before and everybody knows that first week's never seen. But Scotty, I knew was a super fan. I knew from the beginning, and I knew he knew the game. But again, he was such a wild card that I knew like we couldn't bring him in on the group. I knew he was ride or die with Steve from like day 2. But yeah, I would have picked Steve. As far as kick somebody out of level 6, I can't do that. I mean, that's too tough. Like I loved everybody in the group. I wouldn't do that. We just have 7. We'd have 7.
All right, so since we're on Scotty, I'll also take this question from Old Broad over on Twitter, who wants to know, Winston, do you think your confrontation with Scotty after he nominated you and Brett ultimately hurt your game?
Let me see. Yes, absolutely. Are you kidding me? Ruined me. I was the first one in the house to snap. And, you know, my snap was a little, I don't know. It wasn't as bad as some others I saw later this season, we'll say. But ultimately, yeah, going up to him and being like, look, man, the thing that people don't know, and here we go, I'll give you the real, the skinny.
Okay.
Because the night Scotty won HOH, me and Brett are hanging out with him in the HOH room till like 3 a.m.
Right.
And we were both kind of doing a one-on-one, but kind of just hanging out. And I leave to go to bed at 3 a.m. Again, my name never comes up. I kind of pick his brain a little bit, like, you know, who you think I'm nominating, this and that. Literally 7 hours later, it was 10 a.m. the next morning.
Right.
He throws me up on the nomination block without, you know, any precursor. And I was just like, oh, okay, Scotty, wow. So I was shocked. That was all genuine. But again, yeah, I should have bit my tongue, maybe played it a little bit neater. Maybe won a veto. You know, got a stroke of luck my way. That would have been great. Anything.
Anything. I feel like I'm supposed to say, you're a liar, Winston. That is not how it happened at all. We saw it on the feeds, and change your answer, Winston.
No, that's it. That was it.
That is it. I agree.
Like Scotty, I did nothing but commend him because it made sense. He put up 2 big targets, got one of them out, and I get that. So again, that's game.
It is. Destiny's wants to know, what was it like being at home and watching your alliance dominate the game?
It was pretty cool, I will say. It was pretty awesome to see the people that like I came together with run the house was so fun. I mean, it was weird. Don't get me wrong. The moment I came home, I had to distance myself. Like, people don't really understand, especially pre-jurors, because you're kind of plucked from that house and you're thrown right back into reality. And your mind is still playing the game. And the sad thing is you can still play mentally. If you're tuning into the feeds, if you tune into the show, you start playing it. And so the only way I could really distance myself was like taking a week and just being like, I'm not tuning into the feeds. I'm not going to, be on. I didn't have a Twitter prior to the show. I got one. And then, a couple weeks out is when I really dove back in and was like, okay, I'm removed from the game now. But yeah, it was awesome to see the people that I came together with run the game. That was fun.
Right. And I mean, was there any part of you that would have loved to have gone back in the game as far as a battle back? I think I saw a lot of people in chat were saying we really thought there was going to be a battle back for you guys.
It would have been so much drama. Listen, here's the deal. And I was so heated, but honestly, it would have made such a great house divide, because had we had a battle back and I went back in, I would have had the leverage to really gain the trust from the other half of the house, and then semi-fake trust with level 6 as well, and be able to just be in that middle role. But, at the time I was so heated, I'm like, I hope everybody loses from level 6 on my exit interview. Of course, at that point in time, I was still hanging on Julie's every word, hoping there was a jury battle back, or a pre-jury battle back, but of course it wasn't. So.
You obviously are getting this question from a ton of people. I'm going to take it from Anne, wants to know, who would you have voted for if you were in the jury, and why?
It's tough. Okay, well, they both were amazing this year. Both had amazing games, different style of games. And I knew Casey at the beginning. I knew what she was going to do, and it's exactly why I molded with her. I knew that she would be a game player later on. I knew that she was going to do her best to mold with both sides of the house and kind of do that middle role. Right. Tyler winning the first HOH, I knew was going to be a completely different game. I knew he was going to have to step up, make moves, and be able to play that double agent style. So I was amazed with Tyler to run that long, I'll say. So I probably would have voted for Tyler just because of the amount of moves that were made. But ultimately, they were both deserving. So I'm super happy that Casey won as well.
And I feel like you have a unique perspective versus the other people we've, had on and asked this question to. Right. Because, like you said, you got to watch kind of all of it play out and be, know more of what was actually happening in the game. Flynn wants to know, were you attracted to anybody in the house right from the start? Besides Brett, of course.
Yeah, Orwell, man. He's pretty comfortable.
Interesting.
No, I mean, listen, I've said it a million times. It was a super attractive cast. Like, all of the women were very pretty this season. Of course, at the very beginning, everybody thought that we had a Power 4 alliance was me, Brett, Angela, and Rachel, and we just all laughed and hung out nonstop, and didn't really hide that too well. But the entire cast was full of pretty women. So, yeah, I mean, I couldn't say that I was attracted to just one. So, the sad thing is none of them were attracted to me. Everybody fell for Brett.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. We had Rachel on.
Oh, yeah. She's playing. Rachel's great. I love her to death, but we're just friends, and we're on opposite ends of the country right now. So,
well, that's, I think that is a very... I think that makes it hard to make any relationship work when it is in long distance. Steffi wants to know, what in your opinion caused you and Brett to form such a strong bond from the beginning of the game?
Oh, man. He was like, I don't know. We're like, what did he say? 2 beers in a case. Mm-hmm. We're just both idiots. No, we knew, we just got along on every level, I also knew he was a smart guy. Like, chatting and talking with him, I knew we both had worked extensively to get to where we were with our respective companies and stuff. And so he kind of opened up and talked a lot about his background. Of course, he didn't tell many others about what exactly he did, but again, me and him just goofed around. Day 2, we had on Rachel and Angela's weaves in our hair, running around the house with bandanas on and glasses and just acting like idiots. And from that point on, it was like, oh gosh, like those two bros are too much. And so it was just kind of like, well, we got to run with it now.
I liked when you guys broke the door. Was that you that broke the
Yeah,
door or Brent that broke the door?
Did, but I coaxed him into it. I was like, get Rachel over here and, act like you're here in the audience. And then we played pranks all the time. Nobody had more fun in the house for my 30 days than me and Brett. There were so many pranks that obviously I don't even know if half of you all have seen. I couldn't find. I made him eat icing on day 2.
Oh yeah, what were some of like the first 2-week pranks? So eating icing.
Yeah, like it was Rockstar's birthday. There's so many birthdays, but no, it's truly Rockstar's birthday. It was like day 2 or 3, and Angela had made like this icing to put on a cake, and homemade icing, and so it looked just like mashed potatoes. It was in a Tupperware. We were having dinner that night, so I go around and everyone was sitting at the table, and I go up to Brett and I salt and pepper it, and I'm like, "You want some mashed potatoes?" He's like, "Yeah." The funniest part was he takes 2 bites to confirm that he's not eating mashed potatoes. So, I mean, we had all kinds of fun, man. We scared JC in the storage closet. That was probably the funniest thing in the world. He froze frigid. We did all kinds of stuff. I mean,
poor little JC. Poor little JC. BB Boston, you've actually got this from a ton of people as well. BB Boston wants to know, will you be coming to Boston at any time to hang out with Brett, to do a meet and greet? Do you have any plans?
I am. It's in the works, but it's coming. I actually will be there close to the end of this month, October. So look out. I will be, me and Brett will be talking about it. Just, I don't know, follow along on Twitter or Instagram. But yeah, we're going to get together in Boston. We're also going to Canada as well.
Really? And well, actually, we'll talk about it at the end. At the end, we'll talk about when you're going to do those things for people that want to know. Erica Diego wants to know, would you have turned on level 6 as early as Brett did?
Yeah, I think he did it, honestly, a week too late. I think that, so in order to have the numbers to evict either Angela or Casey or someone from level 6, I think that, sorry if you heard a squeaker toy, it's my dog.
We're going to have to see the dog at some point.
Right, oh yeah, she'll hop up here in a second. But I think that the week that Scotty came back for the battle pack, he had the numbers. Had Scotty came in, won the HOH, which of course we all know if you come back on a battle pack, if you don't win that next HOH, you're most likely right back out. Right. But had he won the HOH, he would have then had the numbers with Sam to, coax and make a move on one of them. I think that waiting to where it was, who was it the week that he decided to tell Tyler to make the move? He didn't have the numbers regardless. Right. Without Tyler's, and you got to know in your head he knew Tyler and Angela were a thing. So again, that was kind of just I don't know. He's searching at that point, but I mean, you want to win the game, so I respect his move. I'm glad he made a move towards it. It just ended up ruining his game. But again, everybody wanted to win the money, so.
Do you think that Sam would have worked with them? Like, I know we all saw Sam.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know. I love Sam to death, but I have no clue what she would do. I mean, but that's why. That's why I think he could have coaxed her into do I think she would have voted Angela or Casey out? Oh yeah, she would have voted another girl out, I think.
I really do hope we end up getting Sam on the show, because I know there are a lot of us that have questions about what would Sam have ranked Brett over Tyler had Brett really said, let's go make, these are all the things we want. And granted, I think postseason it's hard to really know what people would do because you're not in it anymore, but I would like to hear her answer to stuff like that. Shannon SR said, if Brett was out of the question, who were you rooting for to get to the final 2?
Ooh, anybody from level 6. I was happy with the final 2, and I enjoyed watching JC manipulate his way to the final 3. That was amazing as well. I mean, I don't know. I was pretty happy with anybody from level 6 by that point.
Let me take this question over from Twitter. It's from Mary Wojo, and she wants to know, was Winston mad at Brett when Brett swung the votes for his eviction? Who did he feel most betrayed by?
No, I felt, I don't know. It's, you had to make a choice, all in all, Brett didn't really campaign against me. We didn't do that against each other, but, I knew that they were kind of lying to my face
Mm-hmm.
right before the eviction vote. Rachel called me in. I've told this before, but Rachel called me and Brett into the geometry room to say, whatever happens, I love you both, blah, blah, blah. Well, the whole time she's looking at me. So I knew, okay, level 6 is voting for Brett. Now, at that point in time, I had maybe 30 minutes left up into the eviction. So I thought all I needed, I had 5, right? I
Mm-hmm.
had Katelyn and her group because Katelyn in no way in hell was going to vote for Brett after that speech the week before. So
Right.
I knew I had those 5. I solidified those 5, and I went to JC and to Sam, the 2 swingers. And I thought, man, if I can get one of them to just one of them, or Sam use the power, either
Mm-hmm.
way, that's my chance to stay. And then if I did stay over Brett, let's say Sam gets an overwhelming feeling, she votes for me instead. Let's say Sam votes for me 6-5, Brett leaves, and I know in my mind, I know who voted for me to stay, and here I
Right.
am in the house with level 6 who voted to keep Brett. So either way, there's going to be an interesting next week because now I'm stuck in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and I know for a fact that Tyler and all of them wanted me out.
Right.
So it would have been a great opportunity there to work with Fessy and the other side of the house. Like I had already kind of made a deal with them prior to the voting as well, because they all thought it was going to be a unanimous vote to keep me to stay, which of course I knew at that time it wasn't.
Right.
So yeah, sorry I rambled there. Go
No,
ahead.
look, they want to hear. That's
Right.
perfect.
Yeah.
People want to hear what you
Yeah.
think, so go ahead. Mom of Twins wants to know, Winston, were you surprised to find out that Tyler was a super fan?
No, not at all. Okay, everybody. The day that I locked Tyler in with our group,
Mm-hmm.
he tried to play me a little bit, and they put it on the episode too. I was glad, but he was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing," and I'm like, "Yeah, you do." And that was it from the get go. I knew I knew he maybe wasn't a super fan, but I knew he knew the show and he knew it well. We were talking right before the first HOH about if we were going to go for it or not.
Right.
So I knew at that moment in time, number one, Tyler was talking game with me. We could talk. And number two, he's a fan of the show. So
Right.
I was like, come on now, don't play me. Like I'm at least happy that I knew Tyler and I knew he had a game. I feel like the rest of
Right.
the house had no clue.
All right, so since we're talking about that, because I did see a lot of people in chat kind of say the first part of this question over from Twitter. It's from Go Golfer, and they said, Winston, you did a great job of recruiting and forming level 6. I saw in chat a lot of people saying you don't get enough credit for being a
It's
person
all
who
right.
formed level 6. But if you could draft players to form a new level 6 alliance from any previous season, who would you draft?
Oh man, this is so good. Oh, this is great. I felt like the what is it, the Winklevoss twins on
Uh-huh.
Network that created the idea, and then Zuckerberg
Right.
stole it, and
Right.
so yeah, Tyler was Zuckerberg,
Right.
and I just got kicked out.
Tyler
But
Zuckerberg, you.
all right, for so 6, man, that would be amazing. All right, well, number one's got to be Dan Giesling. I
Okay.
mean, he was one of my favorites.
Okay.
He is the Tom Brady of Big Brother. He got robbed in 14. Sorry, he did.
Okay.
I would say Dan Giesling. I would say Derek from 16, who I got to meet. A great guy, brilliant mind. Say whatever you want about that season. Doesn't matter. He never ended up on the block. It's amazing.
Right.
I would say, all right, let's go. I would have to go with Brett. Preppy. I want him in my 6.
All right.
And I'm going to honestly say Tyler as well, just because I watched him and I know him, and he is probably one of the best in Big Brother. I would say Tyler.
I think you got 2 more spots.
And yeah, 2 more spots. I'm going to go with, let me think of some throwbacks here. This is too easy, though. This is going to be an all-pro alliance. I would say Boogie and Dr. Will.
And then I was going to say, where are all the females, Winston? You don't have any females? This is ridiculous.
I'm going to get whipped. I know. No, I would say, Janelle, for sure.
Janelle,
Just to look at her, and she was
Rachel.
great, too. Janelle, Rachel,
Vanessa.
all of them. Brittany. I love
Brittany.
Brittany Haynes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
All
I
right.
gotta have some women in there. Sorry about that, but that was
No. I think, I would like most of your alliance. I would probably pick out 2 people. Blanca Boo 2 says, Winston, first of all, you're hot. And
Thanks,
two,
Blanca.
what is the main reason? What is the main reason that you decided to work with Brett in the game?
The main reason was I obviously like here's the hardest part. When you go in that house, you're trying to find commonality. It's just like any other thing. When you start a new job, you find somebody, you start a new school, whatever it is, you find common ground with somebody.
Right.
I had more common ground with Brett and laughing and joking and talking with him than I did with anybody else. And it was really, it was one of those moments where you're like, okay, we're either really stupid and this is going to ruin my game, like eventually it did, or it's going to be kind of the best thing because we were hoping to play it up so stupid that we kind of hide in plain sight. That it was just, we were hoping everybody would look at us and say, those two dumbasses are here just having a good time this summer. They don't care about winning the money. They're kind of just all over the place. But ultimately, everybody knew we were going to vote with each other. When you're seen as a pair, you're thrown up on the block. It's part of it. So we should have disguised it a little better. But yeah, I don't regret making a final two deal with him, man. So.
Did you ever consider trying to switch the focus on other couples? Although I'm trying to think,
I tried nonstop, and I caught a lot of hell for it.
You did?
Yeah, Bailey and Swaggy, Haley and Fez. I knew everybody was coupled up. This is the first week, so nobody did a good job at hiding it. I don't care what they say. But I would try and put my little feelers out here and there, and then, like Katelyn argued with me once in the Have Not room about it, and was just like, they're not no showmans, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah.
So it was obvious to you guys who the couples were, despite them saying, we think we kept it under wraps well.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. If it was obvious to me by day 30, then I think the rest of the house knew through 99 days. Come on.
Okay. Nicole wants to know, what did you think of your BB comic and having to get punched in the face over and over again by people?
That was hilarious. I don't know what to think of that. I was kind of disappointed. I was hoping it would have made more sense. I guess they're just trying to, put some paranoia in the house. But it was hilarious to see Brett punch and break my comic. That was fantastic. That was hilarious.
Were you able to spot the difference? Because I swear to God, at all. Thank God they explained what it was, because we were kind of like
the hands, right? I think it was something like that.
It was the hands, but I was like, "There's nothing different."
I know. I'm amazed that Casey did that one so quick. She crushed that one in like whatever it was, 2 minutes and 30 seconds or something.
Casey crushed everyone. She was saying.
Yeah,
she really did amazing. Did you see? I saw someone in the chat say, "Did you see that?" They were having conversations about really believing that you had a twin in the house. Like, I think JC and Tyler, they were convinced that you were switching out with a twin because of your comic.
Yeah, so I heard and saw most of those clips. People would tag me and stuff. And I died laughing at it because I'm thinking, well, now I get to play the angle on finale night. Like, what do I want to say to these guys to try and spook them a little bit? And I go up to Brett, and I'm thinking, like, like after I hug him, he's like, we're just looking at each other like there's so much to say. And I look at him and I was like, look, I'm not a twin, but there is one thing I was lying to you about. And he's like, what? And I said, I have an 8-year-old daughter. And he goes, do you really? And I'm like, no, man, I'm just kidding. I didn't lie to you the whole freaking time, man.
Right.
So, we had our fun. But, yeah, I think that was just to cause some paranoia. But, yeah, the funniest part was JC said, well, it makes sense if he has a twin because there were sometimes he was really paranoid and sometimes when he was really chill. Right. So, like, I could see, and I'm like, oh, wow, thanks, JC. Yeah, you weren't on the block like I was, so.
Exactly. He was making sure that you ended up on the block.
JC. Exactly.
Sparkly Eye, speaking of Derek, says, did you read Derek's book to help you with the game, and did it help you at all?
Yeah, actually, his book is fantastic. I suggest everybody go read it. It was a really good book. Great, a lot of insight. Not really, it's not specifically about Big Brother, but just his life and what all he's learned through his investigative background. But there were a few takeaways that are stronghold. Like, you should take them away for your daily work. But there was so much, and I actually ended up. I think I told Brett a little bit about one of the techniques, and like if you're talking to somebody. And you give them a little bit of a pause after a question, and they're, people are uncomfortable with silence, and they're going to fill that silence with a little bit of truth. And so I would use that technique throughout the first couple weeks, and it was amazing to hear some of these people just talk. I mean, if you
Right.
just sit there, and especially let's be real, it's 16 crazy people in the house. We don't get on the show for being normal, so they're all going to talk, and
Right.
everybody loves talking about themselves. So I would sit back and be all ears to a lot of conversation. I figured out the two sides of the house like in the first 48 hours. We knew how the season was going to shape out.
Right. Well, I will let everybody know if you guys don't have Derek's book, you can pick it up on Amazon by using our link, yourrealityrecaps.com/Amazon, and use that link all year
Undercover
long.
Edge, yeah, Undercover
The
Edge is really good.
Undercover Edge is the name of Derek's book. Glorious Patty wants to know, who was your best bed buddy?
Best bed buddy? Oh man, best bed buddy. I'd have to say nobody. I slept in the have not room for the majority of the time. So, yeah, those saucers, and they're no fun.
Yeah.
Your feet get numb. That whole part is just ridiculous.
Question from chat. Winston, when are you heading back to school to become a doctor? Just kidding. How did you feel that everyone thought you were a doctor?
Oh my gosh, like I thought coming in that like maybe I just wouldn't say anything about my job period. And looking back, hindsight's always 2020. But I said one little thing to Fessy about his shoulder surgery, and then Katelyn overhears it, and the next thing I know, it's coming back around, and Brett's telling me like, dude, half the house thinks you're a doctor.
Right.
And so, that's my own fault, but I wish I would have just been tight-lipped. But again, you're going to talk about what you do, what you know. When you're in the house and there's no books to read, there's nothing to do, guys, but talk to each other. And you're gonna admit things. You're gonna talk. So
I'm gonna take a very serious and important question from
I'm
Twitter.
sure.
I have an important question from Twitter I'm gonna sneak in right here, and then I have one from Chad as well. This one from Twitter is from Katelyn Mark's mom, and she wants to know, do you have any plans to go to a Taylor Swift concert?
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know when she's touring near me, but yeah, it's gonna happen.
I think
Is she done? Is her tour wrap now?
Yeah.
I watched her on the AMAs last night. She's fantastic.
She's my favorite too. Love her.
I've been in love with her for a long time. I tweeted that, and then people ran wild with it. Of course, hey Taylor, if you're out there or anybody has a connection, I would love to take her out to dinner.
Right, Taylor, and if you're out there and you're watching this show, then you need to contact me, and I will totally hook you up with Winston, but first you're going to come through me, because, oh my god, love you, Tay-Tay. No, I'm embarrassed to say I discovered Taylor Swift way later on in life, but I do love her now. I think she's great. So your follow-up, very important, serious question that has become a debate from in our shows, not the house guest shows, but our daily shows, that Nicole is also insisting that I ask you, Disneyland or Disney World?
Ooh, shocker. I've never been to either. I was deprived as a child, Eric.
Well, this show's over, so sorry.
I'm dying to go to either. Listen, while I was out there in LA, I wanted to go. I wanted to do like Universal. Of course, we ended up going to Vegas, and that kind of took rank over that. But hopefully I'll get a chance to go at some point in time. But yeah, I've never been to Disney World or Land. Sorry.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard you say. Winks89 says, what was your favorite comp that you got to play in, and was there one that you got to see play out during the season that you wish you would have gotten to play in?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to play in OTEV. I feel like as a Big Brother fan, you want to play in OTEV. That sounds so fun. But as far as the favorite one that I played in, actually, I don't know. I wouldn't pick a favorite because all of mine I felt like were really terrible. I'm gonna be honest. They weren't. I don't know. I wasn't too happy with them at the beginning. It wasn't a good mix. I didn't see an endurance comp. I was really mad over that. I'm not gonna lie. The whole time I walk out and leave that night, and then they have the first endurance comp. I was just waiting for a stroke of luck. Never got it. My favorite veto that I watched, because I played in 2 vetoes, but there was one that had the tank of cold water, the snakes, the paintball. That was fantastic to watch. I would have liked to have played in that one too. That would have been hilarious.
I feel like you did good in the Mamma Mia one.
Oh my gosh. Listen, spinning and stacking those things. And it was so frustrating because like the very beginning, and I watched the episode, and of course it doesn't show it exactly how it happened. But the very beginning, there were 2 things that happened in that episode. I'm going to give you the skinny.
Okay.
So that competition, we start, and I am right beside Scotty. We are neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
And at the very beginning, I have him beat. At the very beginning of the first round, I have like 2 rows up. He's got 1. It was on my second trip back that I think I'm going to speed up here. And that was the moment that, boom, I knocked all mine over. Scotty never made a mistake. And I knew that whoever didn't make the mistake was going to win.
Right.
So, I mean, really, it was one of those that you make one mistake, you lose. Now, the funniest part, well, it wasn't funny because I was really mad at the time, was Brett, right before we start these competitions, everybody always is asked, any questions? Anybody got any? Well, there was no questions. We start the competition, and all I hear is Brett is about to finish in the 30 seconds he's allotted. Excuse me, I'm just burped on the mic.
You're fine.
And Brett literally is almost done as the time expires. Well, when the time expires, you start over. And he didn't realize that we were having a 30-second challenge. You'd run back, hit the red button, and then spin to get more seconds. Like, he didn't realize that. And so I really think he would have been, obviously, he was neck and neck with me and Scotty at the very beginning. He probably would have beat either of us because he was moving quick. So had he done it in 2 rounds, I think he wins that veto, takes himself off, and it's a totally different game. But we were so mad after that competition because he was just beating himself up. Like, man, I'm sorry. Like, and it's, it's neither here nor there. It's something that happened. It was funny now looking back. But, yeah, that whole competition was a disaster.
Oh, Mamma Mia ruining Big Brother games.
Yeah.
Mamma Mia. It also
I never watched the movie now. I'm just too hurt.
Don't. It was horrible. Oh god. I mean, the first one was great, and then I went to see that one.
I'm a big fan of Amanda, but
what the fuck is Cher doing here? I don't understand what's happening right now. I missed the first one. Mama TTT Amelia says, would you say that Paranoia was your downfall?
Yeah, I would say so. Half the time I was in the house, I was on the block. So I didn't know who to trust at some points. I would think, all right, and at the beginning even, it was like, is Tyler really with us? Is he not? Katelyn and them were spending so much time as a group up there in the HOH while he had his HOH that first couple weeks that it was like, we're really going out on a limb hoping that Tyler's going to vote with us come voting night. But we knew from the first voting that he was a lock. He was with us. But, yeah, my paranoia ran wild. I mean, that's, again, something that you can try to prep for. But when you see your shot at the 500,000 going, then, your mind starts running. And
right. I want to take this question over from It's Yo Girl 7 on Twitter wants to know, were you shocked when you found out that Tangela was real since they were both in your level 6 alliance?
Yeah, I kind of was shocked. I mean, I didn't really see it at the beginning, but I got to see it blossom, from home. So it's pretty cool. I'm rooting them on. I mean, it's just they had 2 great games and ended up working out well for him. I think usually a showmance can kill your game, but ultimately I think it didn't really hurt theirs. So
yeah, it did. I
mean, towards the right. I mean, Tyler towards the end, obviously there was that crucial veto that he had to throw because he didn't want to make that decision between what was it, Casey and Angela, right? That one week,
right. But still. I mean, I'm gonna. Hopefully, I hear Tyler is going to probably be coming on the show this weekend with Angela. We're gonna get into all of the would've, could've, should've's with Tyler and his game when he shows up. Kentucky Girl wants to know, did you have fun with Katelyn and Rachel post-season when you came out of the house? It looks like you guys all really bonded.
Yeah, we had a blast. Like I said earlier, like being plucked out of the game is such a unique, weird feeling because it's still going on. And the only way to really cope with that was to keep in touch with everybody. So the moment I got out, I think it was like 2 weeks later, there was a fundraising reality event down in Florida that we all went to, and we got to hang out, and we would FaceTime and talk to each other and be like, hey, did you see this that went on? What would you do in this? So right. we had a blast hanging on outside of the house where there's no stress, there's no $500,000 on the line, and you can be real with somebody.
Jackie Knows wants to know, were there any Big Brother moments that your friends in real life are still giving you a hard time about?
Yeah, everything. Did you watch the show?
Everything.
I mean, the champagne glasses, yeah, I mean, just, golly, what do I get the most on? And probably the gun thing at the beginning, honestly. Yeah, I get a lot of hell from all kinds of buddies, so.
Shannon SR wants to know, if you had been on the jury, who would have had your vote between Tyler and JC? We know you told us Tyler and Casey earlier, but what if it was Tyler and JC?
That's a tough one too, because JC was catching a lot of hell about being there, but I'm telling you, it may be a completely different game, but he played it. He manipulated more people in that house, arguably, than Tyler or anyone else. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I mean, it would be really tough. I still think I would vote Tyler because of the comp wins and the amount of moves made with vetoes. But ultimately, I mean, JC was a deserving one too. So just to get there and to not be on the block as long as he was and able to play both sides like he did, I mean, he played a fantastic game.
So JC is your answer. You would go JC.
No. I would still. I said I would vote Tyler.
Oh, sorry. You still would vote Tyler. Okay,
I would vote Tyler just because of the comp wins.
Got you.
I would hate to say that like that equals winning the game, but it's also like at that point JC would have won just one HOH, and it was kind of like who made the most moves is what I'm gonna vote, but.
Right, and I feel like I've said this now in every show, I think part of Big Brother is you have to understand how the jury member is going to vote. So it's not, you're allowed to vote based on comp wins and not care about a social game. You're allowed to vote. Again,
so get this. I think that actually the voting between JC and Tyler with that jury would be really neck and neck as well. Because I think JC had a shot to win. Because if you look at the Hive, they're all voting for JC.
Yep.
I mean, it would have been an interesting little finale there because JC would have had a shot. So, I mean, again, I think that's just kudos to everybody for a great season there.
That is definitely one of the things that has shocked me about doing these interviews with all of you is that, yes, I am surprised how many of the people... Now, again, it's not the real world situation. It's easy to change your answer now that you're in the real world for the jury. But I have been surprised how many of them have said they would have voted for JC over Tyler. I wouldn't have guessed that. Right. Delagy, I think you did kind of answer this, but Delagy wants to know, did you watch the feeds a lot when you were at home?
Kind of, like I said earlier, kind of not. At the beginning, no. It was just way too weird. Considering, I know how the HOH room smells. You know what I mean? Like, stuff like that, guys. Right. It was just too much. And then, eventually... I would tune in randomly, but honestly, no. Like, Twitter kept me up to date. You guys were, the fans were great about keeping me up the loop. Like, who was talking about who, that type of thing. I mean, I was going to hear about it, but I didn't tune into the feeds much at all.
Trisha F. wants to know, were you surprised that Brett didn't end up winning a lot of competitions?
I mean, I was, but I wasn't because, like I said, these competitions are just so different. And year to year, it's like, some are physical, some are mentals, and most of them are a mix of both. But this kind of year, I feel like, especially with the hacker twist and all these comps, I don't know. I wasn't, I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of all the competitions this year. I'll say it. But I do think that, I was shocked that Brett won one veto his entire time there. So I've kind of given him hell over that, which is fun. I didn't win anything, but I was there 30 days. He was there, what was it, 90? Or not 90, 86 or whatever it was.
86 or something. Do you mean you weren't a fan of the twist or you weren't a fan of the competition?
No, I think the twist did what it needed to do, which was shake things up in a good way. The actual competition.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, every season going back at the beginning was always like there's this endurance competition.
Right, you wanted an endurance.
Right, there always was. Like, that's Big Brother. Like, you're going to divide up, and then people get mad at each other, and it's always a guy that wins usually, and then it's pitting against each other. And our first HOH was very unique because you're targeting everyone else. Mm-hmm. So it was, if you remember back, the first HOH was putting these balls in everyone else's tube, and whoever was left last. So it was really whoever's the least threatening will go furthest there because you're putting balls in whoever you want out. So it's not like I'm going to grab balls and putting them in my own and I'm a solo HOH winner.
Right.
It was a unique one where they wanted to shake things up at the very beginning, and I knew, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a very different beginning. So yeah, I don't know. I rambled there again. So.
No, it's totally fine. Dee Dee wants to know, Winston, did you suspect that Steve was a cop?
No, I didn't at all. He had me fooled, I'll be honest.
Really?
Steve had me fooled. Yeah. I knew that, like, first of all, Steve would just talk so much, and I love the guy to death. But he would talk so much about his family and the mechanic shop that I felt like I'm like visioning him as a mechanic, and he just had that, mantra about him, like Jersey style. Like, yeah, he just runs. His hands are greasy. I just see him as a grease hog. Like, and then Brett was the one who, like, literally one day Steve leaked too much about something about a law. And Brett was just like, dude, do you think Steve's a cop? And I was like, no. I shot it down. I'm like, no, there's no way.
See, what I just heard you say is that people from New Jersey are greasy, and I completely agree with you. And darn, New Jersey girl's not here in this show. Scarlett G wants to know, so everything considered, would you ever want to go back into the house and play the game again?
Yeah, I would. I want some redemption. I mean, I would. I would consider it. I felt like I left with a sour taste in my mouth and a lot left to play, and but that happens for a lot of people. So,
if you could bring one person back in with you to play, that's not Brett. Who would you want to see? Let's say they were like, Winston, you get to pick anybody that you want. It's you two against the house. No one's protected, but we're letting you pick someone to play with. Who would you
just
pick?
Like any past house guests at all?
Any past house guests at all.
Man. Oh, gosh. You know what? I'm going to have to say, I would have to say Dan Giesling.
Oh, God.
I'm
darn.
sorry.
Hope you never get to play again.
Well, Tim's never going to play again. I feel like he's made that clear.
He's never going to play again because he knows he has no chance. You know how hard it is to do that well, Winston, when you're sitting there with a Danielle Murphy on the cast? Oh, it must have been really hard to manipulate her. Ooh, that must have been difficult.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, that's the T right there.
I'm just saying, he gets so much credit for this great game with a bunch of idiots. People were like, you swore in a Bible. Oh, God, let's self-evict.
I know. You're right. But I was more impressed with 14 and, the gameplay.
I agree. Look, at the time, I do agree. It was, Dan Giesling. I do feel at that time he was definitely a good player. Mary wants to know, do you think there would have been any way for you and Brett to kind of put your relationship more on a low profile to make you less of a target? Yeah. Or do you really think there was...
Yeah, we had an idea. It was just a little too late. So we were going to fake a fight over one of the girls eventually. So, yeah, I mean, call it what it was. Everyone thought that at the very beginning, us four were in some kind of showman's thing anyway. So we thought that, hey, here in a few weeks, we're going to fake some kind of fight over the girls, pick one, that type of thing. We had already kind of game planned towards splitting up and having our little mid-season fight, but knowing that, hey, we still have each other's backs. That was what we were hoping to do, but didn't get the chance to do it.
Housewife76 wants to know, do you think that the jury battle back was unfair considering house guests got to see their goodbye messages?
Ooh. Yeah, I forgot about that. They did, didn't they? Yeah, That's right.
They got to see their goodbye messages, and one could argue that Julie revealed an entire alliance in front of Bailey.
Right. Oh, I kind of, wow, this is shocking. I forgot all about that. So you're right. That kind of is unfair in a way. That's extremely unfair because that's not been done on previous seasons, right?
I think there was another season where Battleback got to see goodbye messages. I feel like I have such a horrible memory is the other problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, Julie did literally reveal an entire alliance in front of Bailey. Right. So that was kind of interesting.
Wow, yeah, that's crazy.
What was, you got this from a ton of people. What was your reaction to watching live Katelyn not be able to solve a 6-piece puzzle?
Oh man, I mean, I was more mad because I knew that was like my shot as well. That I
Right.
was just like a week before the same thing could have happened. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Everybody thinks like, hey, you just should be able to do it, and I agree. And America knows. But I did support her because I will say, it being a live show, you're anxious, you're being watched, and being having that moment of like just being evicted. And I know Katelyn, and I know she was very emotional at that time. So going from there to like, I think they went to commercial. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
she had 3 minutes to gather herself, push that thing through, and do it. I mean, it was pretty tough. Everybody at home thinks these competitions are cake, and that was me included watching the last seasons. Like, trust me, as a fan, but I'm telling you, it is tougher than it looks. But I will say, yeah, the puzzle, like, come on. I mean, my reaction was just kind of like, damn. Like, had I not gotten that a week ago, like, please, come on, Sam. Like,
Yeah.
what was the point? And why did Sam not use it? That's what I want to have. I wanted to have Sam and talk, and I didn't even get a chance to really talk to her at rap. I talked to her for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to know where her head was at. Like, why?
I feel like, as somebody in the chat room said earlier, that Sam was considering using it on you, but I think maybe Tyler
Yeah,
changed her mind in
yeah.
like the lesson. But at the last minutes there, I think she was considering using it on you. But yes, we will ask her that. We will make
There we
that
go.
be from you. I also cannot even believe, but we are almost already at an hour.
Oh wow.
So I know you said you don't have. You're okay staying a little bit longer, right?
Yeah,
If we want to
yeah.
push through some more of these. Okay. So I'm going to lie and say, no, everyone. Well, go ahead. You all can spread the word. But my point is, I'm going to tell everyone, don't forget to become a fan here so you're alerted every time we're going live. I know a lot of you are asking, who do we have on tomorrow? As of right now, there are no more house guests scheduled. However, we will be live, and like I said, we're still working on Casey, Tyler, Angela, Swaggy, Bailey, Sam. So as soon as we know when they are, make sure you're following us on Twitter. I will put them out. I have a feeling it's just going to be a one-day break tomorrow, and then we're back Friday, Saturday, Sunday with house guests. But I will let you guys know. Just make sure you become a fan here so that you are alerted. And, of course, number one fan on this show is winning an autograph or a Skype call from Winston, whichever you want. And currently, it's you, Kate Blonde, in the lead for number one fan, Winston.
All right.
All right, very important. I also see a lot of people in chat room want to know, do you think that it was fair that you guys didn't get a lot of time or any time
Oh
to
yeah, there we
talk
go.
on finale?
Okay, a couple of things. Number one, I think it was unfair because Tyler and Casey kept getting cut off.
Right,
Like, let's talk about like what really matters is the $500,000 is their
right.
speeches. Them getting cut off for whatever the time restraint was, for whatever reason, was just
Right.
asinine, if you ask me. So that's number one. Beyond that, I don't care. Like, look, we're pre-jury. Of course, we would have loved to have, talked and answered any questions, but at the same time, yeah, our time was stolen. So I was mic'd up for no reason. We all just kind of sat there, and I think it is what it is. I wish the best for him, but yeah, we didn't get to talk. So
For Bailey and Swaggy, because that was kind of the follow
yeah,
up too, is people were
yeah,
like, were
sorry.
you excited? Was it
Yeah.
exciting being there? Did you know that there was going to be this
No, I did
Bailey?
not know. I'll be honest. I did not know for a fact. I had an inkling of a feeling, just due to like, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. A little bit of a walkthrough type of thing. But
Gotcha.
anyways, I had an inkling. But no, that was completely all real and just went on. So
We'll save it for the believe me, people have questions where I'm like, nope, not getting asked here, not getting asked here. After show questions. Bruno's Thumb wants to know, who will you stay in contact with now that the game is over? So are you like, do you plan on being friends with everybody, or is there anybody that you're like, it was a game and I don't see us really connecting in the real world?
yeah. Yeah, like I'm gonna stay in touch with most of the cast. This has been a once in a lifetime experience. We've all been pretty good about putting the drama aside. I do have an interesting little group chat finally with the real level six, which is kind of funny. We're getting some stuff rolling. So yeah, we're all gonna stay in touch. Yeah.
Which is why Winston is also working on getting us those people I just named.
We'll get him. We'll get him eventually.
Pepper wants to know, what was the most shocking thing that you learned when you got out of the game? Was there anything that you found out that happened?
Like real world stuff? Yeah.
Well, let's say
LeBron was a Laker. That was kind of cool. I was shocked over that. Like little stuff, you know. Drake dropped a new album. I was obsessed with it for like a week. That was all I listened to.
Anything in the game? Like, I don't know other than Steve being a cop. No, I was going to say they wanted to know real world too, but I don't think there was really anything shocking.
No, Steve being a cop, yeah, that kind of threw me at my exit interview. And then getting out and finding out that Tangela was almost an Olympic athlete, like that was kind of crazy. That shocked me. She didn't tell us any of that, which of course we knew she was athletic. I mean, just look at her. But I had no clue that she was that close to, competing in the Olympics. So that was kind of crazy.
Tyler's power.
Yeah, Tyler's power. Well, it was shocking, but it wasn't, because me and Brett kind of had both talked that Tyler was a possibility to have one. But again, we didn't know who had that other power.
You said earlier that you were not really surprised or blindsided that much, but did specifically the Rachel flipping, did that at all shock you? Like, to find out that Rachel was a person, I guess, that cast a vote against you. It was the question.
No, because I knew they were going to vote as a group to keep who they wanted. And my whole pitch to Tyler was, Brett was such a big target, and it kind of put a foot in my mouth in a way. I was thinking, like, if I tell Tyler, hey, I'm due some comp wins. Look, I know at the beginning here these competitions have been a little bit haywire and a little strange. But I said there's guys like me and Tyler who during the endurance competitions tend to win because Brett's a little heavier, Fessy's a little bigger and heavier. So I was just trying to go at my angle of why you should keep me. As in, like, I'm going to win a competition. I'm going to win an HOH. I'm due some things. And also the best thing about Tyler's game at that point, the best part, was that nobody knew me and Tyler were aligned. Nobody in the house knew. You can watch the exit interviews. Everybody came out saying what? Like, nobody picked that Tyler and I were aligned because Tyler and I hardly talked in the house. We would specifically stay away in groups. We did it great from the very beginning. I told Tyler the only way this is going to work is if me and you don't talk much in public. Right. And it worked great. So that was my whole pitch. I wasn't really shocked. I knew Rachel, Angela, Tyler, and Sam and JC, and that whole group was going to vote together. I was hoping Sam or JC might get the guts to go on their own since they weren't a part of the official alliance. But at that time, I didn't know really that Tyler had a final two with Sam, and I didn't, and I knew Sam really liked Brett as well, and I guess she just didn't like me. So
interesting. Trish wants to know, Winston, we know you're not a twin, but do you have any single siblings?
I have two older sisters, both married. I'm the baby of the family.
What did you think of Rockstar's song about Brett from the chat room?
So, true story. I get evicted. The very next day, I go through press and I fly home that afternoon, and I'm in Dallas, I think, in a layover. It's the first time I'm able to like turn on my phone and really like look at it. And I just Googled like Big Brother, what's going on. And I get on Twitter and I see the blow up in the song and the pots and pans, and I'm legitimately crying in tears, drinking two tall Bud Lights at a TGI Fridays in Dallas, and I'm crying, laughing so hard. The waitress has to come over and be like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" Wow. I'm like, no clue what's going on. But I was legitimately in tears. Brett handled it so great. He owned it. I mean, that was like a defining moment of the season. It was fantastic.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Data wants to know, do you think that Haley's friendship with Brett hurt Brett's game?
Did I think it hurt Brett's game? No, not necessarily. I think it helped throughout that the weeks where I was gone. He really played that double agent card well. Getting in with Haley, I think, was a smart move to last as long as he did.
Julia H wants to know, what do you think about all the showmances this season? Do you think they're all lasting? Or no?
Well, I think that me and Brett will be buddies for life. Let me just say that.
Okay. You and Brett buddies.
No, I wish them all the best. I do. But guys, it's so different when you get out of that house and you come back to reality and real world. And like, let's just let them all breathe. Don't be, too much down their throats. Like, let them all breathe. Let them have their fun. I hope the best for them. But again, the real world is knocking. So.
Okay. Housewife76 wants to know, what did you think of Rockstar's comments about walking out of the room when you would walk in? Do you think it was the pressure of the house, and have you two talked about it?
All right. So day 2, I wake up and have my coffee, and I'm sitting with Haley and Rockstar, who at this point were very close. The first day they bonded. I'm getting to know Haley and Rockstar both. So Haley gets up and leaves, and it's me and Rockstar.
Right.
I ask Rockstar, I'm like, so did you apply to the show? Are you a fan? Obviously, Rockstar, I assumed was a fan of the show, just by the way how excited she was, and I just had a feeling like she's a fan. She looks at me in the eye and says, no, I've never seen the show, and my parents kind of wanted me to go on. And so they made me apply, blah, blah, blah. So I buy that, and I'm like, okay, like, oh, unique. I was like, I'm a fan. Like, I applied and wanted to come on, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
So we leave. The very next day, we are outside in the backyard, and Rockstar is quoting season 10, talking about Van Kiesling to Haley and another person.
Right.
And I'm in the pool, and I'm in earshot. And so it's at that moment that I knew, okay, she's already lied to me. Number one, she thinks that she doesn't want to align herself with me, and I'm not sure why, but she picked to lie to me in the first 48 hours of the house. Therefore, she couldn't be trusted. Therefore, I knew that no matter what happened from that point forward, I couldn't trust anything that was coming out of her mouth. So, and she still doesn't – I don't even think she really knows that I caught her in that lie, because I knew at the beginning that I didn't want someone like that on my alliance because of the way that their mouth moved. Like, she said that in open public. You got to know who's in the room at all times and what lies you've told to what person. And you've got to live those lies. And I knew that from that moment that Rockstar just didn't trust me or didn't want to align with me. And that was fine. I mean, it is what it is. We have no ill will towards each other. That was it. That was the very beginning for me. So.
Okay. Did you... Oh, let's do these 3 really quickly to get them out of the way, because everybody always wants to know, would you ever do Amazing Race?
Yeah, we'll definitely do Amazing Race.
And who would you do it with?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you have anybody in mind?
Probably Brent.
Yeah, my bro, dude. I would totally do it with Brent.
Would you ever want to be on Survivor?
Interestingly enough, I have thought a lot about that as well. I think that maybe my mental and physical skill set would be maybe more suited for something like Survivor.
Really?
I've been a fan, but I don't know. You never know.
And what about the challenge? Now that the challenge seems to be recruiting all of
Right.
Big Brother people.
Hey, I am all up for the challenge. That's again something a little bit more physical, a little bit more daredevil. Maybe that's more my style. So who knows? You never know.
I don't even know if it's true or not. I didn't have time, like, right before we went live. I saw people saying, I'm sure the chat room could tell me if it's true or not, but I saw people saying that, like, Josh is going to be on the next season now, and Corey of the challenge. I don't know if that's a rumor or confirmed, but
I don't know. I will say I saw some interesting things on, I think it was Twitter or something, so who knows? I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not.
I see some people in the chat are saying yes, that's true. Yes, Josh, it's true for Josh.
I got to meet Josh, and he's a great guy. Really,
Josh is amazing.
He's so funny, chill, laid back, and and that goes to show right there that because I watched the show, obviously I was 19, but I had these preconceived notions when I met him, and he's just like totally laid back and cool. And not to say that he got like some bad edit, because I don't think he did. He won the show, for crying out loud. Played a great game, but it was just like that goes to show right there that, like, guys, we are not how we are necessarily seen on the show.
I would say if there is one thing that I wish people could always take away from any season of Big Brother is that it is a game. What you guys do and say in the house is game, and the real world is real world. And that's why I will always give people a real world chance. I don't care what you guys do or say, and even when
Why can't America be more like you, Eric? What in the
because
world?
They can't. Because I'm amazing. I just don't get when people are like, for example, but Winston was talking so bad about, let's say, Rachel. Yes, and was talking bad about Rachel, making him now have a bond with Brett so that they can solidify their game relationship. It's like people don't get it.
Though. See, why don't you play? Game. You know what's going on. You're a gamer.
It's all game.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That you just earned so much respect in my book. Eric, you need to get in there.
No, you couldn't pay me enough. I like my family and I like my friends. Nope. Did you play the game how you really wanted to play it, or did your strategy change once you got in the house? Lindsay wants to know.
Strategy changed. Okay. No, I didn't want to come in and be out week 3. Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. I wanted to play a little bit of the double agent role and lean back. The problem is, literally, I hadn't laid my head down, and I had already heard that Swaggy wanted me and Angela out. Right. So, things move so fast in that house that you can throw strategy to the side, because I knew I had to get an alliance. I knew I had to find the right people and move quick. I was not going to be able to float around and kind of play, both sides. That just wasn't going to happen for me. I don't know what it is. People are judged the moment you walked into the house. And that's just how it happens.
Lost and Concruzed says you did get this also from a ton of people. Obviously, we saw this season that there were a ton of TMZ articles about the cast. Which one shocked you the most?
Let's just say I was shocked there was none about Brett.
Really?
Yeah, no.
Good answer.
A little, but kind of serious. No, it shocked me the most. I don't know. There was a lot of things said in the house, but guys, again, like Eric said, it could be game. And beyond that, people, you guys don't understand throughout your daily lives if you had a microphone on. Every little off the cuff, one thing you've said, you can't take that back because guess what? It was a microphone. Right. So not a lot of people are thinking that way, and everybody's just like, pitchforks and fire after a lot of people. And it's like, I cut a little break, just a little, But,
were you surprised? You got this from a lot of people too. Were you surprised about Tyler winning America's Favorite Player, or did you see that coming the whole time?
No, I knew he'd be in the running. I mean, he played hard from the get-go. I knew he'd be in the running, so I wasn't shocked at that at all. I think he deserved it.
Is there any one specific thing that you feel contributed to the house choosing you over Brett for their decision?
Oh, if there's any one thing that I should have
one specific thing, do you think it really just was maybe they them thinking you were more paranoid in the game at the moment? Do you think that is what it was, or do you think it could have been anything else?
I think it was kind of ironic and frustrating for me because a lot of the people, especially Bailey, even ripped me on my way out with the goodbye message saying that I couldn't win a competition, and I was like, all right, guys, we're literally, I've played 2 vetoes and we're 30 days in. We're at the first leg of this show. Chill with your mouth, but again, I had to bite it and eat it and say, I had to paint myself as a loser in order to stay and win those votes. I was telling Rockstar, look, I'm not a mastermind. I don't know anything that's going on. I can't win a competition to save my life. I'm telling everybody, keep me. And the whole time I'm hoping, dear God, can I get one endurance comp, something physical? Just give me a stroke of luck, man. But so I don't know if there's one thing. There's a million different contributing factors there.
Right. All right, I want to take your final question from our town, as always, who wants to know, was there anything that you learned about yourself coming out of this game that you didn't know about yourself before you started playing it?
Oh, absolutely. There's so much. To put it simply, really, I learned that I need to be comfortable being uncomfortable. I mean, Big Brother is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, but you are thrown into some crazy situations, even leading up to the show and being, in somewhat of the national spotlight. It's an crazy and humbling experience, but it's a self-realization moment of who you really are on the inside, especially inside the house. Are you going to change yourself? Are you going to mold yourself just to fit a certain, you know what I mean? Yeah. So.
All right. So here's what I also want to do as you know, because you've seen the show, I want to give you full screen to say whatever you want to say to your fans, everyone in here watching right now. And then we're going to come back and we actually have a few questions about your social medias. But first, I want to give you the floor to address all of your fans that are in here watching you.
I can't believe that. I don't know if I have fans, but
you got them.
Hey guys, thank you so much for supporting. Really, it has been amazing to come out of the house and not face as much backlash as I thought I would. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed my gameplay. Sorry that it was cut so short. I wish I could have done better, but I appreciate you guys watching.
Perfect. Now, Winston, is your dog close by?
Yeah, she is. I think she's... Hey.
Oh, if she's sleeping, we don't need to wake her up.
Well, she's sleeping, but it's all right.
All right. No, don't wake her up if she's sleeping.
All right, maybe she'll come back.
If she comes, maybe she'll come out during the patron show. Actually, she will. She'll be on the patron show. You should have become a patron.
There we go.
Winston, I saw Bruno's Thumb wanted to know about social media. Will you ever start a YouTube channel?
Interesting you say that. Brent and I have kind of talked. I don't want to commit and say yes just already, but let's just say there's some things coming. We're in talks of. So yeah,
okay.
I mean,
things coming on that.
Something. Just follow along. We're gonna have some fun.
All right.
Where
on social media do you want people to follow you? Like your Twitter is above you, but where else?
Right. Yeah. So follow me on Twitter. I think it's just my name, Winston_Hines, right?
Yes,
and then there it is. And then my name on Instagram is the exact same, Winston Hines. Sorry.
But I just think with no underscore is your
Instagram.
Right.
No underscore. I think it's just Winston Hines. Yep.
We will put I see Lindsay's putting them in the chat. We'll put the links below this video as well. Okay, go ahead. Let's see the dog.
Come here. Come here.
Hi.
You want to come up here? You want to come up here? Come say hey. You want to say hey? Can you see her?
I see her. Oh, so
She's tired. She was asleep. I'm sorry.
We didn't mean to wake you up. Oh, adorable, Winston.
All right.
You
can go back to bed. You can go back to bed.
You can go back to bed, little doggy. We love you. We also love all of you guys watching right now. Congratulations, Cape Blonde. You are the #1 fan. We will follow up with you in a little bit. Everybody else, I will see you back here tomorrow night where we will have maybe another house guest, or we will be letting you know when the rest of the house guests are coming on. Bye for now, Bye, everybody.
Bye, you guys.
Oh, maybe that's Brett.